this is Clean Coach Carly. I'm the staff nutritionist at Healthy Habits Living, and I'm talking today about painful and achy joints and what you can do about it, and why you would want to take WynnPharm DONA glucosamine over a bargain basement brand. So first of all, arthritis affects 32 million people in the United States and over 500 million people worldwide. So I would call it a modern day plague. Arthritis is when you have prolonged pain, achiness, and structural changes and damage to the joints, and specifically the joint tissue. The joint tissue that is most often damaged is your cartilage. Now, cartilage is the cushion that is in between two bones. And it not only provides cushion so that the bones aren't knocking up against each other, but has a little bit of elasticity so the joints stay in place and move within a proper range of motion. So back in the early 90s, several studies showed that glucosamine at 1,500 milligrams per day was ideal for rebuilding, not just taking away pain, but actually rebuilding joint tissue. Well, as often happens, manufacturers took that idea and started using different forms of glucosamine, aka cheaper forms of glucosamine, and offering them as supplements. Now, there's nothing illegal or wrong with that, but it's not the form that was used in the studies, and so it's not going to work that well. So glucosamine has this reputation, if you have joint problems or arthritis, have you tried glucosamine? And some people have tried it with great success and others not. And I'm venturing to say that many people that haven't had good success have been using the wrong form of glucosamine. So the form of glucosamine that was used in the medical studies, that was Crystalline Glucosamine Sulfate. Now that's important to know because your body can only absorb certain sizes and structures of molecules. In particular, it can't really absorb glucosamine hydrochloride very well, which is your kind of bargain basement glucosamine supplement that you can find wherever. Now, when you contrast that with crystalline glucosamine sulfate, we know that the medical studies show that it actually rebuilds cartilage in your joints. So it's going to reduce pain because you're going to have more cartilage there and you're going to have more mobility. Now, something to contrast that with is NSAIDs. Now, NSAIDs are over-the-counter or sometimes prescription anti-inflammatories to reduce pain. And NSAIDs do reduce pain, but in the long term, especially with arthritis patients, you are going to see more bad side effects. So you're going to have reduced pain, but you are going to have worse damage to your joints. So the joints will continue to deteriorate, and that will result in more inflammation and more pain, which means you'll have to continue to take NSAIDs or even higher doses, or they may just stop working. Some other side effects of NSAIDs, just in general, are ulcers, peptic ulcers, bleeding ulcers, headaches, IBS type of symptoms, nausea, vomiting, constipation, diarrhea, neurological problems like balance issues, fainting, hypertension, even congestive heart failure and renal failure are reported in long-term use of NSAIDs. Whereas if you're using something like WynnPharm's DONA to actually rebuild your joints, you're not going to have any of those side effects and you'll have reduced pain. There was an interesting study that came out recently in the Journal of Osteoarthritis that showed there was two groups of people. One group didn't take NSAIDs, one group did take NSAIDs, and they showed over the course of 4 years that the people that were taking NSAIDs actually it started to experience more pain, so heightened levels of pain, and more damage to their joints, whereas the people that weren't taking NSAIDs either stayed steady or had reduced levels of pain and inflammation. So if you're experiencing arthritis, you have the side effects, the pain that's involved, you may want to continue taking NSAIDs, but you need to do something else to help rebuild that joint tissue, specifically your cartilage. If you're going to try glucosamine, which the medical studies show it helps and it works to rebuild that cartilage, you want to make sure and get the right form, and that's crystalline glucosamine sulfate. You can find that in WynnPharm's DONA, and it's 2 caplets per day. I recommend you take it with food so that you get better digestion and avoid any nausea. So here at Healthy Habits Living, we are always here to help you find the best nutrients at the right doses and the right forms to help you with your optimal health goals. We're here to help you get healthy so you can stay healthy and be healthy.